Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. I'm Kristi Shive, and this morning we're visiting with Dr. Nathan Vanderford. He's an associate professor for the Department of Toxicology and Cancer Biology for the University of Kentucky and the director of the UK Markey Cancer Center's Action Program. Can you start us off by talking to us about the cancer problem that we have here in Kentucky?
Unfortunately, Kentucky has a massive cancer problem. So Kentucky ranks first in the U.S. in overall cancer incidence and mortality rates. So that means no other state in the country has a cancer problem like we do. We rank first overall, but we rank first in lung cancer incidence mortality levels. Colorectal cancer incidence and mortality levels are also very high. We're not number one in those, but those are two of the cancer sites that we rank highest in.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the center does?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Cancer Center on the clinical side, we treat cancer patients of all kinds. Anyone, I think we treat all types of cancers. We treat patients from all 120 counties in Kentucky. And so that's really important. And I know, people drive a really long distance to get here to Markey to be treated. We also do a lot of research, from very basic laboratory research on cancer, ultimately trying to understand, what causes cancer from a molecular standpoint. But then we also do research to try to understand new therapies, new treatments, new prevention strategies, those kinds of things.
Now, I mentioned earlier that you are the director of the Action Program. What is this?
It's a cancer training program for high school students and undergraduates, specifically from Eastern Kentucky. So specifically from any of the 54 counties in Eastern Kentucky that's in the Appalachian region. And we're training students to be future cancer professionals, cancer clinicians, healthcare providers of any kind, researchers, education specialists. So people that can go out in the community and do outreach, community engagement, that can help people, understand what cancer is, cancer risk factors, and prevention strategies, things of that nature. So any high school student who's in Eastern Kentucky is eligible. I think that anybody's eligible, but it's a really rigorous program. We get students involved in research. We have a lot of education activities where we teach about cancer. We do clinical shadowing. We do outreach into the community. So I think that it's the people that often apply are people that are really interested in STEM or healthcare. So I think that we kind of enrich for those kind of people.
But recently you started a collaboration between the UK Markey Cancer Center and the UK Cooperative Extension on a new podcast. What is this podcast?
Extension, as you know, and as your listeners know, it reaches community members in all 120 counties. And the Cancer Center and then the Action Program were very interested in reaching community members and trying to make that reach as wide and deep as we possibly can out in the community. So I became aware of a podcast that the College of Ag and Family and Consumer Sciences was doing, called Talking Facts. And so because of my connections with the College of Ag, I reached out to them, and over time what developed was a subcomponent of that podcast called Cancer Conversations. And so now we record podcasts at some regular interval on the topic of cancer, and it's distributed through the Talking Facts podcast out through Cooperative Extension and many people as we possibly can in the community about cancer information.
So if someone wants to listen, they need to check out the Talking Facts podcast.
Yep. And then they can watch out for cancer topics, or if they go to the website, they can actually search for Cancer Conversations, and it'll filter through all the podcast topics and come up with all the ones that have been in that series.
Be sure to check out the Cancer Conversations podcast. And as always, contact your local cooperative extension office for more information about today's topic. Thanks for joining us today on the Farm and Home Show, and we'll see you next time.